Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the Tour Podcast. My name is Austin Dahlquist. Really excited to bring you today's episode featuring Derek Rubis. He is the hub of distance running. You won't find a more passionate fan about distance running. He's also a cancer survivor, has a pretty great story, and tune in to hear about all of that and more. Before we get started, check out Sub4 Tour on Instagram, sub4tour.com. Let's keep pursuing our goals together, because the tour is about pursuing our goals with a rooted and hopeful mindset. Let's get it going. Derek Rubis, welcome to the Tour Podcast, episode 7. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm glad I finally am on this podcast.
Man, we're excited to have you. You are the hub of distance running. You are a great friend, and you and I we met in October of 2014 at the Wisconsin Invite, but I actually heard of you first after the Tulsa Hurricane Invite in September of 2014. My teammates at Arkansas and we raced just this low-key meet in Tulsa, and you congratulated us after, added a few of us as friends. I think you knew of Ethan Main in high school because you're from Wisconsin, but that's where I first heard of you, and then we met at the Wisconsin Invite there later that fall.
Best friends.
Yeah, and we've been friends since. And so, but for those that don't know you, Derek, would you like to maybe talk about where you're from and kind of how you got to where you're at now? Because you're in Arizona, correct? You're calling from Arizona.
I started in Wausau, Wisconsin, then moved down for 30 years down to Waukesha. And I started running 6th grade because I was so bad at basketball. I was a 6th grader on the 5th grade team. That's how bad I was. And then in middle school, a lot of people don't know this unless they listen to my podcast, that I started out as a hurdler and a long jumper. And they said, nope, just push him the distances. He'll be good. We don't have to deal with him. And I've been distance ever since. I helped out at when I was going to college at community college. I helped out for 4 years at my rival high school, and then one of the coaches there was a coach at the college I went to, and after that I 10 or 11 years a volunteer assistant there, and now I'm a volunteer assistant at ASU.
Very cool. And that college was Carroll?
Carroll, at the time it was Carroll College, but we were getting people were asking if we were in Montana because there's a Carroll College in Montana, so they switched it to University.
Okay, University of Carroll in.
Yeah, Carroll University. Yeah.
Very cool. So you decided to start running. Just because, you weren't as good at basketball and you weren't as good at the other, I guess, parts of running. Did you love it right away, or did you not like it at first, or how was that?
I did it because everybody else was doing it for the 6th grade run, and then when I went into high school, I just started loving it because of the coach I had at the time, and he's the reason that I became the hub of distance running and whatnot.
Really?
So, yeah.
Really? So he was a big fan of the sport as well?
Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome. I mean, coaches are so important in our journey as runners or as athletes in general. Having a good coach that's supportive and is affirming and positive is so huge. And so so he started your love for it. You mentioned the hub of distance running nickname. Where did that nickname come from? And kind of describe what being the hub of distance running means.
It came from a person who's no longer here, who was a distance runner, David Torrance.
Yeah.
He gave me the nickname.
Oh, wow.
And I love it ever since, because people are coming up to me now and going, it's the hub, and I'm like, I feel like I'm I'm wanted in the sport now because before I had my cancer, I didn't realize how important I was in the sport as much as the professionals like yourself. When Nick Willis just asked if he could retweet it out that I had cancer, I didn't realize how many people and that really loved me and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're a distance runner, I mean, at any high level, you know Derek Rubis, and super cool that you're taking the time here and just what you've meant to the sport, what you mean to runners, kind of at most of the high levels. I mean, where does it start for you? Do you start like following runners kind of at the collegiate level, or if they're high level in high school, like where
High
do you
school,
usually?
collegiate, anywhere, yeah. And
Yeah,
I love getting to know like the seventh guy on the team
yeah,
as much as the first guy on the team because I think they're as important as the first guy.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's so many stories to it when you think about cross country or just sport in general. Sometimes the guy that's not the star has to step up. Um, Sometimes they're maybe not as talented, not in the spotlight, but they uh, they are just as important, like you said, and also could mean a ton to the team battle, or maybe they're the one taking the last shot in the game, and so just because maybe they aren't putting up the stats like everybody else doesn't mean they're not important to the team. Um, that's awesome. So as the hub of distance running, what does that what does that look like? I kind of know what that looks like. You keep track of a lot of people, and you keep track of their racing, and you
Yep.
congratulate a ton of people. I think, are you still doing it via Facebook? Is the main forum to?
Facebook. If they don't have Facebook, then I do Instagram. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What does that process look like? Are you going on some websites to see what races are, and then you're looking at results, or how do you
Yeah, yeah,
how do you
yeah.
end up doing it?
I go on if they have I'm following some of the teams and whatnot. And if they have a meet that day or whatnot, I see it on Twitter or now it's called X
Yeah,
and or Instagram, and I'm like, okay, I can do this group and I can do that group, and yeah.
dang, that's super cool. Is that overwhelming? Like, do you have a limit of? Do you like
Me,
set a
no,
limit for
no
yourself, or?
to me it's overwhelming because there's so many, and, and sometimes there's uh, uh, so many distance races happening at the same time that I'm like,
Yeah,
I have to go to this one, I have to go to this one, I have to go to this one.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah. What's the craziest time of the year, would you say, for
when they
racing?
have the BU meets, yeah.
Yeah, BU like Valentine.
Valentine, every distant race, yeah.
Yeah, man, that meet is always super fast and super popular. I remember I was there last year racing the mile, and I got one of the last spots to sit in the whole facility. It was right by the vending machine, and I think there ended up being, I was heat 2 of the mile, and I think there was like 55 heats of the mile or something, which
Yeah,
is
the
which
meet
is
I'm
crazy.
doing this weekend down at U of Arizona, there's about like 60 to 70 people in the 1500.
Wow, dang, that's awesome. I'm all for more people keep growing the sport. How do you, for people that come in, do you try to that either enter the college scene, or that you discover either they're running well or not? Do you befriend them or follow them, or how does that
Yeah,
process usually
I
work?
friend them. Times if I find out that they're big in high school, I want to get them before they're in college, and I had some of those guys on my podcast and whatnot, and
Yeah,
I look at the roster in August and whatnot, and I love international guys,
yeah.
so I'm like every international guy, you're mine.
Yeah, to support them, and I mean, I know it means a lot to them too to have a fan, to have a friend that's maybe they haven't met or they'll eventually met when they're coming to a new country
Yeah,
and completely new place with a lot of new things to learn and without so much of a community. And it's cool. You've helped really kind of drive this distance running renaissance, it seems, that we've seen. Would you agree that distance running is, or maybe just track and field in general, is getting more popular over the
I,
years?
I
Or
think I think because of Worlds, I think hopefully distance running is becoming bigger because of what Nikki and Hobbs and all of them did in
yeah,
the. So I'm hoping distance it follows, and what Nico did this
yeah,
indoor season. So I'm hoping distance running becomes bigger.
for sure. Yeah, and in an Olympic year too, people seem to be turning their focus to it. And I think what Citius Mag is doing and social media in general, I think is doing a good job of pushing running forward. And what do you think distance running needs to kind of break through to become even more popular? What would you say?
Just big names. I just think that they don't need to put like the 3K or the 5K or the 10K or steeple. They don't know, need to go in and say, "Oh, we're going to go to a commercial now, and we're going to come back in the last two laps," and people don't know, "Oh, how the heck did this guy get up in front, and where did he come into the mix?" And I just wish they had the split screen a little bit better.
Yeah, showing some screen time, and I think just the storytelling behind it too. I mean,
Yeah,
other sports you have, you know about their lives and you know about what's going on in their come up. And I think if you tell the stories of people, which I think is a perfect time during the long races, like, hey, this runner is from this place, maybe they struggled with this or went through this, or they've been really good since high school, or maybe they just got good this year, or something, or maybe hey, Grant Fisher's from Michigan, all of a sudden people in Michigan are losing it, or hey, Nico Young is Northern Arizona, and then people in Arizona
one of
are
my
super.
best friends, Nico.
Yeah, yeah, he's an incredible runner, and has just had an insane last couple weeks, like you mentioned, at NCAA indoor, and then the 10K. But I agree, there exposure and just storytelling, there needs to be some more investment. And I think just a lot of these brands, a lot of these big TV brands too, are maybe just afraid of investing in it. But it is interesting and compelling, and people always come to watch the Olympic trials and the Olympics, but it seems in the other years they aren't so
Go
much
down the
interested.
tubes.
Yeah, for sure. Are you going to be at the Olympic trials, by the way?
No, I can't go this year. Yeah,
Oh, dang. I was going to
yeah.
say it won't be the same without you.
The worlds happened when I was in the. My motivation to get out of the hospital from my first surgery of cancer was to watch the worlds on at home, not in the hospital.
Yeah, 100%. That is huge motivation, and we can touch on that and then go back. But yeah, I would like to. You've mentioned having cancer. Would you like to talk through maybe that process, how maybe you came to know that you had it, and maybe the process through it, because you are cancer free now, correct?
Yep, I am June 15th of 2023.
Wow, praise God. So cancer free. And so how did you initially figure out the diagnosis?
Well, we had a year trying to find out. We went to different doctors and whatnot. And when I was going out to run outside, I'd have to go to the bathroom so much, or I'd have accidents, or I had blood in my urine and whatnot. And we had no idea. But then my mom had the great idea of a GI doctor, and she's like, and my uncle is a doctor, so she's like, and talked to him and said, "Would that be a good idea?" And he he said that'd be perfect. And the GI doc said, "What about a colonoscopy?" Because people around my age were they lowered age down to 45 to get colonoscopies, and
Yeah.
he's like, okay, we'll do it. And he had 6 colonoscopies that day that he did, and 3 out of the 6 had he had to say, "Sorry, you have cancer,"
Wow.
and I was one of
Jeez.
them.
Jeez. That
And
is
it runs in my family because my aunt has it on my mom's side, and my mom's mom had it.
wow. That's super scary. But
Yeah,
man, praise the Lord that you're free of it. How did you how was the process of getting rid of it? Did you have to go through radiation or did you have to have any surgery or
radiation, chemo, everything. I've drive 30 minutes for my and for 10-minute radiation, and drive back 30 minutes
wow.
for like
Man,
5 weeks straight.
wow. Did you did you have to lose any of your hair or what was
Didn't
that process
that,
like?
that was the first question after he said I had cancer. I said, "Do I have to lose my hair?" And he goes, "No." I'm like, "Thank the Lord because I'm known for my hair."
Well, that's at least
I
good,
said,
but
"Me and Billy Saveco are known for our hair, so I'm
yeah,
not doing it."
yeah, the hair is iconic, and yeah, Billy too. If he had short hair, that'd be crazy. But
Yeah,
how
he's one of the reasons I grew up my hair.
let's go. Yeah, you guys look great with it. Was the radiation hard? Like, did it
No,
hurt
it
your
was just
appetite or?
laying down and them doing the radiation or whatnot. I think the hardest was the first 4 times that I had the sitting in the chair for about 3 hours. Afterwards, they gave me a fanny pack with this ball that immersed the same stuff that they were giving me for 3 days for the 3 hours, and I had to wear it for like 2 days
Dang.
straight afterwards. And every time, and I was tubed up and everything, and I'm like, not going outside. I don't want to see people see me like this and whatnot. I couldn't even
Yeah.
sleep. There were nights that I would be going to bed at 2 in the morning, getting up at 5 because of it, and I was like, I can't live like this anymore. And
Yeah.
they said, well, we have a different process where we're doing the chemo, but the weeks that you're off of chemo, we can do 1 week of chemo, and then do oral chemo for 2 weeks, and then them back on it. And I'm like, that's perfect. And they're like, well, the only thing is you have 4 more weeks of the chemo. I'm like, I don't give a care. Just get me out of this ball, and I would be happier than heck.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang. And so you just had to wear that device all the time just to, I
Yeah, for
guess.
two days straight after I had the chemo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that that was the hardest part of the process?
Yeah. There were days where I was just like my mental health, which we'll probably talk about,
Yeah.
got to me, and I'm like, I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to live. I was thinking about suicide all the time. So it was just like, it's just, so that was a big one for me.
Yeah. No, that's really hard. Along with that, did you have any other adverse effects from the treatment in terms of like did you lose your appetite or what was it like on your end?
There are days I had to go back and get an IV drip because I couldn't eat anything, and the lowest weight I got down to was 108.
Wow.
And
Dang.
we're like, that can't happen because we're going to San Diego and Disneyland for a trip. And sorry, we need this IV trip like right now.
Man. Well, and that's hard. I'm just glad that you were able to that you were healed and able to see it through for sure. That's I've certainly heard that radiation is and chemotherapy is super hard. And so after those treatments and after the process, what was motivating you to get through? I mean, what I've heard and maybe others have heard that your mindset through it is so important, and having either having a belief system or a positive mindset. What was kind of keeping you going when it was hard?
The only thing that saved me through my life was running. running, even though I only could run inside because my doctors didn't want me to go into too high. Not, if it was like 100 degrees, I couldn't go outside. But if it was like 20 degrees, I couldn't go outside. So extreme heat. I mean, I had to wear gloves if I wanted to get something out of the refrigerator. But running inside here it saved my life. Yeah,
Wow. So you would run on a treadmill or
no treadmill.
no treadmill? So you would just like
No,
run back
because
and forth in the house?
the stomas that they took outside of me and put in my ostomy bag, they didn't agree with the treadmill. So yeah,
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, the treadmill isn't super fun anyway, but so you would just be running back and forth in the
I'd be
house?
running in the house back and forth, at the same time watching old TV shows or YouTube or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's that's awesome. I'm glad that you were at least able to still run and yeah, have something to de-stress, do something that you loved through the process. What do you think is like your biggest takeaway from that physical ailment? Do you have something like that you can take away from it?
Uh, my biggest thing was I didn't realize how many people were in this community were really rooting for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I just thought I was lower on the totem pole because I was the guy, and everybody thought of me as the guy who writes a nice job and congratulations to people and was the hub of distance running. I didn't mean anything to the sport like a D1 or D2 or a professional guy does, but I guess I really did mean something to
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
100%. And that's an amazing thing about the running community is it's a pretty small community, and sure there is some elitism by some people in terms of,
The
oh,
sprinters.
maybe but yeah, I mean that they won't hang out with people that, or maybe they won't give some folks the time of day that aren't as fast as them or whatever. But I've really found the running community as being a tight knit group and a supportive group, and I'm really passionate about it because I personally, and that's part of the goal of the tour, is to shine a light not only into the running community but in general. And so I'm not surprised at all, and I was really stoked to see all the support that came through your diagnoses, and feels like, yeah, prayers sent your way and prayers answered um, with the healing of it. How much money was raised when in that support? Do you know the amount?
The GoFundMe was over 5,000,
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
and a lot of my medical bills were already paid for. So my sister in law, who says, "Well, why don't you just take that money and go on a bucket list trip?" So
Wow.
I went to. It was either Disneyland or Dollywood because I'm a huge Dolly Parton fan. And
Yeah.
my mom's like, "Well, your nephew is in San Diego, going to San Diego State," and I'm like, "Okay, then Disneyland."
There you go. That's
So we
awesome.
went to San Diego and then went to Disneyland. Yeah,
Was it sweet?
yeah. I it was the best trip I had. I mean, I'm a huge Donald Duck fan, so meeting Donald Duck was like I was like bawling, and everybody in line were like, "What the hell is wrong with him?" And I'm like, you know what? This guy saved my life during my cancer and all through my life, so don't you dare get after me. Yeah,
Yeah. Doug is the man, and so I'm glad that you,
yeah,
or the duck. I guess he's not a man, but
yeah.
I'm glad that you got to experience that and go there and use that money for a trip. Yeah, before we get into the mental health, I wanted to ask another thing, or a couple things that you do that are kind of your staples. One of them is wishing basically everyone a happy birthday. How do you keep track of that? So you mentioned you keep track of the race results. You're basically just, yeah, what you're following, or what meets are going on every weekend. How do you keep track of everyone's birthdays?
Birthdays are when they come up on Facebook. Yeah,
Okay. Facebook. Yeah,
yeah.
that's really one of the main reasons I still have Facebook, is because it tells me birthdays every day, and I like wishing people happy birthday like you, but also you usually post 4 pictures per person, and
Mhm.
that's usually on Twitter, right? On X
Yeah.
is where you wish. Why did you choose Twitter as the happy birthday forum?
The 4 pictures, because that's how many you can have in one tweet, I guess, for for them. But yeah, I do it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and whatnot. So yeah,
Wow. Okay. So you do every person do you do on each social media platform?
yeah.
You wish them happy birthday. Wow. What? That's incredible. That is an amazing friend right there. What is your favorite social media out of all of them?
I like them all. Yeah, I just basically like them all. Yeah.
You like them all? Do you think Twitter has when Twitter changed to X? Do you think there's a noticeable difference? Did you like the old Twitter better, or do you like the X
Yeah,
better? Or
definitely because of the fact that uh, we didn't have the Elon Musk guy, and he didn't bring back all these guys that spewed the wrong things at people that they don't know about them or whatnot. So it's like that's the part I hate about it, but I just love it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Which the jury's out obviously on Elon, and it's hard to know what news is correct and what news is different. But I don't know. I might like the new X more, me personally, but I'm not sure because they have the for you and the following. But it does feel like there's less bot activity now. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm just not seeing as many bots. But yeah, I don't know that my personal jury's out on Elon and for Twitter. My brother actually works for Tesla, and he's crushing it there. But yeah, Elon is certainly an interesting guy. That's for sure. But that's crazy. And so another thing that you do is you do the face in the hole. And so Rubis takes people's pictures while they're running or doing a myriad of things, and you use is it the Face app? You put your face in them and do like a combo. You say Derek Austin Dahlquist or Derek Nico Young or something, and um, where did that start? And you're
I
still you're
don't
still
even
doing it.
remember where it started, but I know for a fact that during my mental health stuff, it I had to get away from it for like 6 months or whatever
Yeah,
because it was not helping my mental health stuff and whatnot. So I just was like, back off it. I'll just have fun with it, not deal with the mental health part of it and whatnot. Yeah,
yeah. What was the initial reason behind doing it? Just like it
I
was
just
fun to
something fun for me to do and not be bored all the time. I guess.
yeah put your head or put your face on somebody and what they would look
Yeah, I
like.
don't I don't really know the start of it, so yeah.
Yeah. Was it hard with your mental health because of like the comparison, or what was hard about?
Um, with my mental health, basically, my mental health is thoughts of suicide, self-esteem issues, and then uh, weight issues. So it's sort of like the the weight issues were getting there, and they're a little bit with it. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I know that that's kind of a maybe swept under the especially the weight issues and mental
yeah.
health in
Mr.
general.
Alberto Salazar started the whole thing.
Oh no. That's not good. I mean, yeah, and that's the issue is that somebody can tell you something, or yeah, you compare your how you look to somebody else, and I know I've shared on this podcast or on social media about my personal journey with it. I just got in my mind that the lighter I was, the better that I would compete. And the issue with it is that sometimes you can run a little better initially, but then or perform a little better, but then over time you're really hurting yourself. And so, yeah, there were points in college. So I'm like 175 now, and there were points in college where I was 150 pounds, and I just had no power, and it took me a long time to have a healthy relationship with food, and just with my body and natural build, because I'm 6'3", and I need to be heavier to have the power, and yeah, to be a miler as well, I need some muscle to move, and just eat enough too, because as distance runners, as you know, we're running and exercising a lot, so we need to eat a lot. Um, and so yeah, it's sad to hear that one person started for you. For me, yeah, I guess it was just comparing myself to other runners, and not focusing on my own journey and just eating enough and eating right. But um, how has that how has that been for you? Have you been able to get to a healthier place with
Somewhat, yeah,
your movement?
but still with the cancer, and now I have what I call bowels from hell,
Oh no,
which I have to be close to a bathroom, and I've had it for like 9 months after my cancer.
dang,
It's just like there are days where I'm like, I don't want to eat because I don't know what's going to go through me and how many times I'm going to be in that bathroom or whatnot. So
yeah,
yeah, there's still time. It's a 12 year. It's been a 12-year process.
yeah, definitely. And that's the thing, is it's always going to be a process, I think, and that's what I've heard, and that's what I believe. I believe personally, I'm in a healthy place. I'm past it, but I also still think about, when I'm eating something, like how many calories are in it, how much fat's in it, or like is this going to be um like is this going to be too much, or but um I've kind of found that I really should lean into eating more rather than less, and eating till I'm full, and really I've found like practicing the 90-10, 80-20 rule of eat good most of the time, 80%, 90% of the time, but then have a burger and fries and pizza once or twice a week. Like Nick Willis said too, he's like, hey, have a dessert every night, but like don't have four desserts, because it's a balance of you want to be light but also strong, and you want to be healthy, and so um, it's a hard balance in distance running, and unfortunately, a lot of people um, try to control it too much, and get hurt, or do irreversible damage to themselves, and so um, yeah, I'm sorry that it's still been hard for you, but I'm also glad that it is seems to be trending in a better place, in that way. With your mental health struggles, what do you think have been some good tools to kind of help you work through them? Do you see a therapist, or do you
Yeah, I
have?
saw. I've seen like 5 therapists. The thing that's gotten me helped me the most was Sam Parsons and Drew Hunter do a lot of mindfulness stuff, and I think that's helped me more than anything is the mindfulness stuff that they've sent me and given me, and it's like that. Without that, I don't think I'd be here, and I thank both of those guys for it.
Man, yeah, both amazing dudes, great friends, and I agree. I mean, I have a faith in Jesus, and I think that it's important to slow down and to process your life, and to rest, and to not have distractions. And I think in that time you're really able to look internally, and in my belief, hear from the Lord, and everything. And so yeah, I agree, being mindful and centering yourself is a huge tactic, and is used across the world in a lot of cultures. And so it's easy to get carried away in our fast society, in our bright society. There's always new stuff coming out. There's always things to do, and so great to hear that those guys have impacted you in that way. Another question that is a really cool thing about you is your tattoos. So you have quite a few of them. How many do you have?
About 30.
30. Okay. And what
And
are,
one is your old school.
yep, one is Arkansas. So are they all collegiate logos, or are there other tattoos that you have?
One is Nick Simmons' company, One Gum.
Yep.
And then another one, my distance running friend, Thomas Stein. Him and me are huge Tottenham Spurs fans. So
Let's
I
go.
got that. And then during my cancer, one singer from England really saved my life, which is Youngblood.
Mm,
And so I got the devil horns that he drew, and so yeah,
dang, cool. And then the other ones are all collegiate
mostly
logos?
agent. Yeah.
Wow. Do you know, could you name all of them off the top of your head?
No, I cannot. Well, I know
Are there
Arkansas and Colorado and Air Force, and I've got a couple that I have to do because I made some bets with a couple of guys.
are they where are they? Are they on your they're all on your legs and arms, or
Heads and arms, and I have one on my ribs. Yeah, that's New Mexico.
very cool. Do you have a favorite tattoo?
Favorite? I actually like my Arkansas one a lot.
Let's go.
My NAU.
Yeah, let's go. What made you choose these schools specifically? Is it just your connection to the runners or the coaches or the program, or what made you choose
Some
them?
of it was bets, and some of I made sure the bets were like teams that I really loved. And
Yeah.
the Arkansas one was a bet with Dom Scott.
Yeah, because if she won, was it if she won?
If she won her race, and no, the girls won the indoor title,
Yeah,
indoor
yeah,
track title, and she texted me wins, engagement, and tattoo. And I'm sitting
yeah,
there going, what the hell is she saying? And she goes, you have to get the tattoo. I got engaged and I won my races.
yeah. I was there for that for the engagement, and that was, I think that was indoor nationals, maybe 2016 or maybe it was 2015. No, it might have been 2015. Because yeah, I remember seeing her getting engaged, and then obviously yeah, she was an amazing runner at Arkansas. Still is for Adidas out here in Boulder for Team Boss, but that's cool. That's super cool. What do you think? Do you think you have some more tattoos coming, or do you
Yeah,
have one
I've
here?
got a couple coming. I've got University of Missouri. I want to get. I have to get the uh, Australian flag near the New Mexico because the guys are Australian and they to cross country nationals.
Yeah,
And because of Jordy frickin' Beamish, I have to get the New Zealand tattoo. His flag
man.
tattoo.
Yeah, what a indoor championships for him, world champion, and yeah,
Yeah.
he's an incredible runner. Another cool thing that you do is you have people coach you. I saw your tweet today. You said that you're coaching yourself right now, but over the years you've had a lot of people coach you, myself included, for a week at a time, right?
Yeah.
Is that still going on? Do you still have people that you'll have
Nope,
coach you?
I'm
Or
just coaching myself now, and I get like workouts either from that new track All Access, or work old workouts that I uh, had in the past, or when I'm coaching at ASU.
yeah, awesome. And so in your past of being coached, then who's your favorite coach that you had over that time? Do you have a favorite coach or favorite?
The toughest coach I had was Danny Mackey,
Okay. Yeah.
because halfway through a week I'm like, Danny, I can't finish, and he's like, you'll finish and you'll see why at the end. You'll see why I did a hard workout for you. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
But I like the people that are unexpected, that you look like, oh, he's coaching him. So yeah, I like
that's
the
great.
unexpected.
Yeah, and Danny is, for those that don't know, Danny Mackey is the coach of Brooks Beast in
Yeah.
Seattle, and he's the he has the world champion Josh Kerr as one of his athletes, along with many other great
That,
athletes. And
that was one of my favorite podcasts. It was talking to Josh Kerr.
yeah, that's awesome. He's the man. Very very cool how he's continued to get better. But you've mentioned you have some people that you look up to. You have some idols in the sport and maybe in general. Do you want to maybe touch on some people that you look up to and why you look up to them?
Back in high school, before Prefontaine, I had four guys I looked up to. One was Kevin Sullivan,
Yep.
and one was Adam Goucher, Theo Quack's dad,
Wow.
and then Thomas Stein's dad. But right now, my two biggest ones are Nikki Hiltz, because she saved me through my cancer, big time.
Yeah.
And then Theo Quacks.
Oh, cool. Let's go.
Yeah, who just retired from NCAA.
Wow. Yeah. Is he gonna train post collegiately?
I have no clue. I have no clue. He just put out an Instagram yesterday that says his time ended. So yeah,
Oh wow. So he's out of eligibility, or he's just
yeah,
done that?
out of eligibility.
Man.
And he's
Yeah.
someone
That's
who's really the whole team, the whole NAU team saved my life during my cancer, and I can't thank him enough for it.
yeah. And he's a great runner and in AU too. And of course, I know Nikki well through Arkansas, and they're an incredible runner athlete. I guess that kind of leads into my next question is like your Mount Rushmore. Like so Mount Rushmore, and you kind of named four guys there, but what is your Mount Rushmore of runners, male and female, like your four favorite runners of all time?
For males, it's got to be Theo. Theo is number one in my heart and everything. You're up there.
Oh, thank you. You're kind.
Uh,
I don't have to be up there, but um,
yeah, I was trained one at three.
who is it?
The Toad.
The Toad. Yeah, I don't think that's strange. The Toad is the man. Episode 2.
Yeah, he's like the coolest thing ever in my life. And then four for guys is this is a tough one. I'd have to say Adam Fox.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And then
He's
on the
great.
women's side, it's Nikki Hiltz, Genevieve Lacaze, or Gregerson. No.
Yep. She's on my
Um,
team back.
I mean, the last two. Elish from the 10K from England. And then I'm a huge, oh God, can't think of my fourth one. My fourth one had to be my Ramsden.
Yeah, yeah, she's amazing. Wow, honored to be on that Rushmore.
Yeah.
That's what group if you could train with if you had one group to train with in the whole U.S. or world, what group would you choose to train with?
Mike Smith's group.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a great group and a great thing going for sure. Another fun thing that you do is you change your name on social media sometimes, Twitter and Instagram, maybe Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Why do you change your name, or what is
I
the
just
reason?
thought it was fun and different, and to get people's names out there, like this guy did so well or that person did so well. And,
Yeah, very
yeah,
cool. And your profile picture, I think on Instagram right now is my former teammate, the decathlete from Arkansas, Daniel Spacer.
I
Uh,
love the frick out of him.
yeah, he's an awesome dude. He's
Favorite decathlon ever, next to Troy.
wow. Yeah, I mean he's had a really awesome. I don't know if you know kind of his come up, but he walked on at Arkansas with a couple other decathletes, and the guys that he walked on with ended up either transferring or retiring from the sport, and he was super raw, just an athlete, and then just continued to get better. And I'm super proud of his progress. And
He's my dream guest on my podcast.
let's go. I'll make sure to let him know that that you should go on because yeah, he's got or that he should go on your podcast because He's got a great story for sure. But yeah, let's talk about your podcast a little bit. It's called Running with the Hub, correct?
High Flying Hub.
High Flying Hub, yes. And you want to talk a little bit about that and what you're doing with it?
Yeah, it's called High Flying Hub. I did it because I love pole vaulters flying over things. I was a steeplechaser, so I flew over the barriers and whatnot. And I did it basically because I listened to 4 distance podcasts in one day. Emma Abrahamson's, Chris Chavez's Coffee Club, and then my favorite one, Dominic Schleter's.
Yep.
And I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. And at the time, I had cancer, so I didn't want to think about my cancer 24/7. So I'm like,
Mm,
and I love hearing people's journeys in within the sport. So and see how this person has the same journey as this person, or how different each journey is. Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. How many episodes do you have now?
510 since September 28th of 2022.
Wow, that is next level. Are they all runners that are on the
Yeah,
podcast?
I've had runners, I've had pole vaulters, uh, decathletes, coaches. One that I couldn't get up was um, because they wanted to do it on Zoom, and I didn't know how to get it from Zoom to Spotify. And they became one of my best friends. Is Jessica Lahore. She's a drag queen out of Denver, Colorado.
Oh, cool. Dang, that's cool
So
that you.
since then we became friends. And ever since then, yeah,
Wow, that's cool that you've been able to have so many different people and have so many episodes. See a lot of success with that. That's so cool and a great name of a
yeah.
podcast. How is your running going? I know you mentioned that you had to stop a lot because of your bowels, and I know maybe some runners can relate with some, or just athletes in general with stomach issues and stuff. How is your running going besides that?
It's going okay. I've tried doing a couple of races up at NEU, and I think because I've gone so many times that day, I couldn't finish the race because I didn't have the strength to finish it. But
Yeah,
hopefully on Friday night, I have a race at U of A, and
cool.
hopefully I can finish the 15 there. Yeah.
Awesome. 1500. Let's go. We'll keep my eye out for it. 100%, praying that you can finish there. So you mentioned that you were assistant at ASU right now. What does that look like?
Yeah, the head coach they have right now used to be assistant coach at ASU, then was assistant coach at U of A, then became assistant coach back at ASU. Then the head coach left, and he was like, he knew I was struggling with my cancer and whatnot. He's like, just to get you out of thinking about your cancer and everything, you're coming over here once a week and helping out with the team and whatnot.
That's
So
awesome.
I help time and whatnot on either Tuesdays or Fridays. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. What are you doing outside of that? What does your day to day look like outside of running and
Not, not much, because going to SU is like 55, 50 to 55 minutes during the morning because they always have practice in the morning.
yeah,
Yeah, because of the heat around here. And like sometimes it's at like 6 in the morning if it's really hot, or 8 in the morning. So yeah,
wow.
so
What
it takes up most of my morning. Most
for sure. Outside of
I did get to watch new track all access before it was put up.
oh, very
One day,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool series that they're doing. Outside of those days that you have to volunteer, what do you like to or what does a normal day in Derek Rubis's life look like?
Not much. I just help around here with anything I can. Right now in it's called Santan Valley, Arizona. So I help my mom out and whatnot. And we're gonna be it's gonna we're getting a new dog now.
Oh, really? What kind of dog?
It's a lab meets Great Pyrenees, and my mom's like, "It'll help your mental health." I think it'll help your mental health a little bit more. So yeah,
Man, I love dogs. Is that your favorite kind of dog, or do you have a favorite dog breed?
uh, my favorite kind of dog that I've been wanting since my other dog died, because my mom's like, "We're not going to get a dog for a whole year," and after the year it was up, she's like, "No, no, 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 calendar year, not from the year the dog died." Bulldogs are like my favorite thing.
Really?
So
Yeah,
I love Gus,
yep,
the
yep,
coffee club Gus. Yeah.
yep. Ollie's dog Gus is legendary. My favorite dog is a Basset Hound. I don't know if you've seen them, but I grew up with them, and yeah, I love them when I see them. It's the only dog that I'll stop and like pet or talk to the person that has them about. And there's a house here in Boulder that sometimes when I run from home, I'll go by their house and hope to see the Basset Hound. But I think it's great that everybody has a dog breed that they really like. But what are your other outside of running? What are your other interests or hobbies?
I love watching like old TV shows, old movies. I know people of your generation would think like 90s are old TV shows, but to me it's like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. We have a, a theater by us called Harkins, and
Yeah,
they every Tuesday night for $5 they do old movies.
very cool.
Do like Psycho, and I've seen Gone with the Wind and Pulp Fiction and all these old ones. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Do you have a favorite old movie or old TV show?
Favorite old TV show is Alice.
Okay, I don't
And
know if I know that.
what's kind of funny is one of the phrases in there, because it's based in Phoenix, Arizona, and
Okay.
so I'm like, I can use the phrase now that we're down in Arizona a lot, and so I tell people to kiss my grits. And then my
Is that
favorite old movies are like from the '90s, like Singles and Mad Love and Californication with Brad Pitt and Juliette Lewis. And then my ultimate favorite is called Reality Bites.
okay? Wow, I've heard of a couple of those, but I haven't seen any of them. So I definitely have.
Reality Bites is like the coolest movie ever made.
Dang, I definitely have. I have some homework there. Then that's really cool. Um, but looking behind, looking ahead, what's the best advice do you think that you can give somebody that's listening to this podcast right now?
Ooh, you got a toughie there.
Yeah,
Just enjoy it every day. You may have a bad day one day, but the next day could be better than you think.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Do you have best advice that you've been given?
Yeah, one of my podcast members gave me a quote that Mick Burns does, and I live live by it now. Stupid is as stupid does.
That's
And
great.
then, and then the one phrase I use all the time with my runners is a name of name of a song by Cage the Elephant. Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Yep, yep. That's the iconic one. What was the story behind "Stupid is stupid
I
does"?
have no idea. When I heard it from one of my podcast guys, I'm like, okay, that's gonna be my phrase from now on.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
like,
mean, it's true.
that goes in my quote book,
Yep, yep. It's true. Stupid
because
people
most
do.
of my quotes in my quote book are from Dominic Schleter.
Yeah, he's a quote legend, and he's so impressive. And I was grateful to get to know him more this summer and to have him as episode one of the tour pod. But
Yeah,
to just be 18 and to be running the running empire that he is, and he's just so professional and does it so well at his age. So I'm really impressed by him.
He's the one podcast I want to get on as a guest. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have no doubt that you will, for sure. But um, when it comes to the future, what are you what do you got next? What are you looking forward to
Well, this
coming up?
weekend the race, but just living life every single day. I'm going to San Diego for my nephew's graduation, so I hopefully we'll get to see a San Diego Padres game, which is
Oh,
I'm a
let's go.
huge San Diego Padres nut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're supposed to be really good this year.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then we're taking a whole family trip for the first time ever in August, but we can't decide where.
Oh man. Do you have somewhere that you would love to go if you could go
um,
anywhere?
I think the consensus is close to uh, is in Colorado. I can't remember the city now, but it's close to Boulder and whatnot. So I'm like, yes, I get to go to Boulder. I get to, again. I get to go up to Colorado Springs where I've never been. See Thomas Stein and his
Yeah.
family.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely. Well, let me know. Let me know if you come through town. It'd be great to get a
yeah.
run or to grab a meal or something for sure. That'd be super cool. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you choose? Where would you choose to go?
London, England.
Really? Have you been outside of the country?
Not haven't been outside. I had a chance, but I in high school we were because I was in French class, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go to France that year," and it was between that and running camp that summer, and I'm like, I'd rather go to running camp over France because I was getting like B's and C's in the class, and I'm like, I wouldn't be able to speak the language.
Yeah, man, that's a guy that's passionate about running. I
And
think that's
the other place I want to go to is Denmark.
yeah, both great places. If you have the opportunity, it's so worth it to go outside of the country just to experience different culture, different people, and we live in a big world. It's you forget about it because you get in your bubble. I think that's maybe something that that people are wondering. See, you chose running camp. What do you love most about running? Like, why are you so passionate about it?
It's like something not a lot of people can do, and I just want to get this sport out there as much as football and basketball are known. I,
Yeah,
I, I think our sport is, especially with the distance runners, is so unique, and we have so many people that should be known, like yourself or somebody like that. Like when I have my podcast, getting the seventh guy on the team and the first guy, it's just like, well, this guy matters as much as this guy does.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. That's great, and all about it. Obviously, I'm biased as a distance runner, but I completely agree, and we touched on it a little bit. But running can be just as entertaining and just as big as some of these other sports. We just need yeah we need some changes for sure to push it forward. So we can get into some more fun questions here. We're talking about like traveling the world and stuff. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
Uh, this is a tough one. You go deep in.
Yeah, deep questions on the tour podcast.
I just say get Donald Trump out of here because
You're tired of them?
I think he's just affecting how the world looks at our country, which I love to death, and it's just like get him out of here and say that we have a good country like everybody else does.
Mm. Yeah, he's not the nicest person, and even leaving the politics out of it. I hear you. I bet some people will certainly agree with that. But what is your favorite place that you've ever been?
Ooh, it's a tie between three places:
Okay.
to Flagstaff, Eugene, and I love Boulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I
Boulder's
first day I was there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna live here.
yeah. It's special, and so is Flagstaff and so is Eugene. I mean, those are the top three running cities, at least in the U.S. kind of my opinion. I think that's where, I mean, most of the professional teams are too, are those three cities. And so, yeah, both or all three unique and have really cool things as a part of them. Why won't you be able to make the Olympic trials?
Mostly money. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's expensive for sure to get there.
At least it's not as expensive as Super Bowl is.
Yeah, for sure. It's expensive to get there and to get a ticket. I mean, I'm lucky. Maybe there's a chance I can get sponsored before then, but Tracksmith is helping myself out along with a lot of other athletes. Part of the program, they're paying for lodging there, and that helped so much last year at USA's. And but I mean, I would say if you're able to find a way there, maybe you can crash with somebody, or Karen, my wife, and I were also offered free tickets one day, just outside of the stadium. So there could be an opportunity, but the yeah,
I
it's
had a
expensive.
chance to go to Prefontaine Classic this past year, but because I was one of the guys that won the City of Smeg thing.
Oh, cool.
But it was just like that. I'm like, I have to find a place now. I have to find a flight and everything. And every one of my friends said, "Oh no, I have somebody here for the thing." So I'm like, I'm not going to pay for another hotel and the plane ride up there. So yeah,
Yeah, it's expensive. I've been able to find flights through like Southwest pretty easily, but yeah, staying there is a
I
lot,
was.
and it's an
That's
amazing
where I'm
stadium.
supposed to be. That's where I'm supposed to be living with Eugene.
Oh wow, yeah. Why?
Um, I was I was supposed to work with Nick Simmons' company, and I thought I had a job with them. And then when I drove out there with my dad in 2018, they're like, "Nope, we don't have a job for you." And then it
Dang.
was either come down here or go back to Waukesha. And I'm like, I feel like a failure. I don't want to go back to and tell the group that I'm a failure, that I don't have a
That's not a
job being
failure.
huge. So I just came down here. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not a failure though, and
it worked out perfect because I'm at ASU now.
yeah, 100%. And yeah, it's not a failure, but that's lame that they didn't have a job for you. But yeah, I'm believing that it worked out for the best. Another fun one. So yeah, you have a ton of tattoos. You also have a fair amount of gear from college teams and professional teams. What is your favorite gear to rock and run in? Like what brand or what school? What are your favorite things to run in
My
and
favorite,
wear?
my favorite when I was able to run outside. Jeff, who used to run for Tin Man Elite,
Yep. Oh yeah, I know
he
Jeff.
gave me his crop top, and I used to wear it all the freaking time.
Let's go. Heck
That
yeah.
was like my favorite thing outside. And people, and then I started not wearing it anymore because of the fact that I'm like, I want to be different, like Billy, in my fashion and whatnot. But when I would go out for my run and I'd have tights and then the crop top, people
Yeah.
thought I was gay.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, I gotta push it back in, and I'm like, no. I said I'm gonna be another Billy, so in fashion. So what the heck?
Yeah, I mean you're doing you, and it doesn't matter what people think
Yeah,
about you anyway. And yeah, as long as you're comfortable
yeah. I
with.
got my fashion sense from Craig Engels and Billy Saveco.
There you go. Two incredible people, for sure. What are your favorite brands to wear?
Um, I'm huge because of Tin Man, because I'm a huge Tin Man fan.
Yeah,
It used to be Nike, but ever since the Alberto stuff, I'm like, and what he's done to some of my friends, I'm like, I'm not wearing Nike anymore.
yeah,
But Adidas is a big one for me.
yeah. Do you run in the Adidas shoes as well?
Yep, yep. I got my spikes are the Tin Man Elite spikes.
Very cool. Yeah, they got they got good stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, two final questions. to wrap up, what is your favorite food?
Uh, I'm a huge. I love British food, so bangers and mash.
Okay. Wow. Let's go. Yeah, and you got to eat a fair amount with all the training. Oh, I guess bonus question. You for a long time were running tons and tons of miles. What's the most miles you've run in a week, and then what's the most miles you've run in a year?
Yeah, week probably 115,
Wow.
and then a year probably around 5,000.
Wow. 5,000. I don't even know what that is. Um, per day. Let's see, 5,000 divided by 365. Yeah, it's almost 14 miles per day. Wow, that is 96 miles a week. Crazy. A little phone calculator there. Wild. So the last question that I ask every guest is if you could have a quirky home feature in a home, what would it be? Inside or outside the home? If you could have something cool.
If the house is big enough, I'd have an indoor and an outdoor track.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be so crazy.
Have the
Uh,
Washington's outdoor track and then Arkansas's indoor track.
oh man, yeah. Do you like it because it's purple?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a cool outdoor
but
track.
yeah, I was supposed to run at Arkansas one year, and the guys were like, "No, we're all going to Iowa State Classic," and I'm like, "Oops, I got to maneuver over to Iowa State then."
Yep, yep. I think I was one of the ones that mentioned that you were that we were at Iowa State. So I think yeah, you're at that meet. Um, yeah, and the Arkansas track's only gotten better since I left, and so I love racing there. And man, that'd be awesome to have your own indoor track, um, and then have an outdoor in the backyard. I'd be on it every day. But um, Derek Rubis, thank you so much for your time. Do you want to plug anything, any of your social medias? Your
No,
at name?
just my podcast, High Flying Hub. I'm almost out of guests, so I need more. So if you want to
Yeah,
be on, just
yeah.
DM me.
High Flying Hub, and you can find Derek Rubis. It's not hard to find him. Search him on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, if you know a distance runner, then you can absolutely find him. But Derek, Mr. Rubis, thank you so much for your time. Episode 7, just honored to be your friend and stoked for what's to come, man, and just thankful for you and thankful for what you're doing for running in the sport. You truly are the hub of distance running, and so um, we'll have you on again. But grateful that you took the time.
Yep, thanks to Austin.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so much for listening to episode 7 of the Tour Podcast. Special shout out for Derek Rubis for taking the time and for all the passion you bring to the sport of running. Hope you got some great tidbits today from the conversation. Thank you for listening, for supporting. Check us out, sub4tour.com, sub4tour on Instagram. Don't give up. Lean into your talents, lean into your passions. Let's keep pursuing our tours together. Have a great one, everybody.